Hello coders, welcome to another How to Code Well Symfony tutorial. Today I'm going to teach you how to use the priority parameter of Symfony routes to alter the way in which the routes are ordered. Let's get into the code and I'll demonstrate what I mean. In the Git repository in tutorial_9, which is in the tutorials folder, there are two routes within the user controller. The two routes are /user/ and then the parameter ID. The second route, which is underneath that route, is /user/list. The order in which the routes are found in Symfony is based on the first one. If we have a look at the demo.http file, which is in the root of this project, we can see these two routes here. We've got the /user/for and /user/list. Now I can send the request to the first path and that's going to return a 200 OK. If, however, I went back to the user controller and I removed the priority parameter from the second route, which is /user/list, it's not going to find that. And that is because Symfony checks the routes in the order in which you've given them from top down. So for example, if I was to comment this out, save that and go back to demo.http and run the second request, so it's /user/list, we're going to get a 500 internal server error. It's actually trying to run the first route, not the second route. And that is because we haven't got any requirements set on the parameter of ID. And so /list is going to try and use this route. And of course, this requires an integer, and we have a string, which is list. So it's trying to see list as the parameter that would be used up here. And we can see that by having a look at the logs here. So it's running /user/list, and it's trying to run the app_user_index route, which of course is the route that has the integer as the parameter. We're trying to supply a string, which is /list, whereas this is requiring an integer. And I can show you that now. If we go back to user controller, we're looking for an integer as the ID here. And this is coming in as list, which is a string. So to change the priority of these routes as Symfony reads them, we can use the priority parameter. And by default, the priority value is 0. So anything above 0 will be ran first. This means that Symfony is no longer going to look at this route first, because the second route, the app_user_list route, has a higher priority. So this is priority 2, and this would be priority 0. So if I save that and go back to the demo HTTP file and ran the list request again, we're now going to get a 200 OK, because it's going to be looking at that route first. Of course, I can send the request to the index route and that's going to run perfectly fine. The priority gives these routes far more flexibility. You can change the order in which these routes are checked. The full write-up for this tutorial and all the tutorials, as well as the courses that I have, are available at howtocodewell.net. Thank you ever so much for watching. Happy coding, everyone, and I'll see you again in the next Symfony tutorial.